Welcome in, welcome in. Welcome back to the Crypto Bully Bear channel where there's only fun decoding, no financial advice. Let's see. A lot more people in here. You know what? Let me just do this video quick. What's up? What's up? Okay. You know what? Let's do this video quick and then I'm just going to sign off. I'm good. I'm good. Love from New York. Love from New York. Okay. It's going to be a quick video. Now, I want to show you the matrix. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on a second. Okay. Let me see something here. Let me get myself sorted out here. What up? All right, guys and girls and animals and creatures of all sorts. So remember this, we had the Francis Scott Key Bridge collapse, right? Which I thought this was pretty interesting because, you know, we're talking about crypto, we're talking about your keys, right? And we got the Scott Key Bridge over here. Funny enough also that this bridge represents, I think, a Star Spangled Banner or something like that. I'm not exactly sure, but this is pretty much what it represents over here. On the 26th, right? On the 26th of March. And when did it happen? On 128. Now. Let me show you how powerful some of these numbers are. Right? So look at this. The boat itself, it left, right? It left the port at 12:44. Okay? 12:44. That is 4 plus 4 is 8. Okay? 4 plus 4 is 8. And then you have the 128 code. Okay? So this ship left the port at the 128 code. Okay? On March 26th of last year. And weirdly enough, we have right? It left the port at 12:44. Right? Almost 45 minutes later. Okay? Almost 45 minutes later. All right? Which is, you know, who was 45? I don't need to tell you that. But you see the time that it left at 12:44, how is the 128? 12, 1, 2, and then 44 is 8. Here's another 128 code, okay? Over here, March 26th. No, hold on a second. I'm just saying, there's so many things connected over here. Wasn't there in California, Pasadena? Didn't that shit go up in fire, if I'm not mistaken? I believe that shit went up in fire. Pasadena. I was just seeing something, just pointing it out. And then. Okay. Weirdly enough, it took 11 weeks, right? You were always talking about if this was connected with, crypto and finances. You got the towers, right? You got the 1-1 code over there. There's your 501 genes code also. The estimate was 15 million, right, per day as well. Okay, there's your Phoenix number down on here. There's your energy number, 17, 19, Phoenix number, 91 when you flip it, all right? Remember when I was telling you last year when we were saying how Thanksgiving, because it was on November 28th, that, it could be a big thing? Well, funny enough, here is your 228. Okay, here's your 11. 1 makes 2, and then your 28. So I knew there was a connection, but there it is. 2028. There it is, the estimate. All these different connections. Now let's go. This was basically the matrix over here, right? We're going to go to the Gematria, okay? You remember all those dots that I was trying to show you? Hold on, I got to type it in. Gematria calculator. All right. Now, here you go. Gematria calculator. Matrix and Gematria making a combination here. So we got the bridge collapse. Okay, this could have been any bridge, right? We just put bridge. We didn't even put Baltimore Bridge. We didn't do anything like that. But when I put the bridge in here, when did I tell you that the bridge fell? March 26th. That 5 flips to a 2. Okay, 326. All right. Again, that 5 flips to a 2, and you get March 26th when the bridge fell. Okay. As well as over here, it was the 86th day of the year because of leap year. All right. You see that 768? Well, if you go backwards, 86. All right. 86 was the day that the bridge collapsed. All right. The 86th day of 2024. Okay. And then you got your 128 code, like we said. All right. 128. And I just finished showing you that bridge, the Baltimore Bridge, right? The BB, Baltimore Bridge, Big Bang, BB, left the port at 1244, hit the pillar at 128, calling for a Mayday at 127, right? The 86th day of the year, bridge collapse. And like I said, we have many bridge collapse. But the Baltimore Bridge, I believe, was a key bridge. That's why it was called the Scott Key Bridge. All right? And then there's your date. The motherfucking date is right here, 326. For the people that want to say, it's 5, open up your mind, please, and flip the 5. All right? This is Gematria working, okay? Right in front of your eyes. I'm showing you the numbers. I'm not lying. This is straight from the internet. The 86th day on March 26th at 128, the bridge collapsed. Bridge collapse. Did I take the pen? Is this? I don't got today's paper. Hold on, I'll be right back. Let me see if I actually got today's paper. Kind of grabbed it and glanced through it today, and a little wild over here. So let's go through this paper. Funny enough, right? We got number 45 over here. This is just something I'm just seeing off the fly. 45, right? And then they're screaming. Everybody's screaming about the stock market. Oh, everything's crashing. Americans falling apart. Fix this. And Max, stop. Stop. I'm doing something. Okay? Anyway, fix this insanity. I showed you the pictures of Donald Trump inside the Atom sign already, right? I showed you the picture sign of Donald Trump in the Atom sign on the front page, matter of fact, okay? On the front page, okay? This man right here is wearing a purple sweater with yellow, gold, whatever you want to say, with his silver chain out. Weirdly enough, he had to get that chain out of his fucking thing, right? I'm just saying, just weirdly enough, this guy, this guy supposedly was unhinged man who randomly attacked women with broken bottles. And there you go. There's your 36. There's your 3 6s. Okay. There's your atom sign, the beast symbol, whatever they want to call it. Okay. There's your 3 6, and there's the purple. All right. I can't make this shit up. This is right on the front page. All right. There's your 3 6s. There's your purple. Okay. This is Donald Trump's number. He was 45. What was happening over the market this week? It was insanity. They're screaming at him to tell him to fix this. All right. I want to get inside this paper in here real quick. Excuse me for a second as I go through here. I will pick you up in a second. All right. Now, collapsing. Nightclub. Horror. Right? Look at the whole roof. The whole roof collapsed. Okay? And it's funny. Now that I'm thinking about it, we're gonna check that out after we talk about this right here. But this is what I noticed. Nightclub, horror flag. Look at all these people over here. Whole fucking roof fell in. I mean, it's not like it snows over there or whatever the case is. Who knows why this whole damn roof collapsed? And it wasn't a piece. Look at the whole damn section caved inside. Okay? DR roof collapse kills ex-Met and dozen more. Okay? A dozen more plus the ex-Met. That makes 13, people. That makes 13. Now, what I found interesting was, remember the planes? The planes were crashing on the 29th. There was, they had that big plane crash over the river, right? Ronald Reagan, blah, blah, blah. And you had another crazy, 3 planes crashing on December 29th, right? So, falling out the sky, crashing, collapsing. Look at this guy's number. Look at this guy's number. The same motherfucking number. Okay? And 911. Okay? 2 is 1, 1, and 9. That's 911. Okay? Not only was 13 here killed, okay? Ex-Met and dozens more. Okay? Dozens more. So there was more than 13. But funny enough, they say dozen and then the 1. That makes 13. Look at. They even tell you the dot L, okay, the God, the dot, the atom, the particle, the God particle, pitched for 13 major leagues, okay, 13. Funny enough, I just showed you 13 here. Here's another 13. Remember Taylor Swift, all the 13s in the Super Bowl, 13, 13. There's your 501 connection again, okay? League teams with his 15 years. There's your 501 connection. Look, they have to show you again the 3 6s, okay? For everybody is like, okay, there's your 3 6s, okay? There was another part I seen in here. Let me see. I'm trying to read off my phone here. And it was with the Yankees. Look at. Okay, something is about to happen, I think, in New York. Something about to happen in New York. And maybe this is why New York hasn't gotten the green light yet. Maybe this is why New Yorkers, just like myself, have been suppressed with cryptocurrency, especially with Metallicus, okay? Because, this is orange. You can say it's red, orange, and blue because this is really red, orange, and blue. That makes purple, okay? Red, orange, and blue. That makes purple, all right? But let's get back over here. They'll tell you that he started off with the Mets in 1999. There's your 3 6s. And was with the Yankees. So 2 New York teams, okay? 2 New York teams, okay? Oh, man. All right, let me just finish this, and then I'll tell you what I'm thinking about right now. So you got Mets 666, and then you got the Yankees in 2006. So you got six with another two sixes. You got 666. Okay, you got 666. Let's see. The nightclub began falling Tuesday. Always shit happens on a Tuesday. You understand that? Tuesday. When did that 2001 event happen? Okay, Tuesday. I think that bridge collapse happened on a Thursday, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see. I was reading something here. Let me see something. I was reading something that we were talking about. There was another player in there. Okay, here we go. Here we go. I'm sorry. I was just trying to find where we were talking about. Now, if you were watching, if you've been paying attention, I was showing you that American Picker show, and they always picking out signs, and they always got like Route 66 on there for some strange reasons. Okay, and again, remember also baseball is connected to the diamond. Okay, they play on a diamond. Do you understand? Blue diamond is another code. I'm trying to figure it out, but blue diamond is another code. Understand why everything blue in Hawaii didn't get burned. Understand? Go watch the news and you're gonna see. Matter of fact, go back and go watch the old the helicopter and the airplane crash. Go watch all those news clips. You're gonna see all these symbols with blue diamonds in the news. I don't know what's going on with blue diamonds, but for some reason, blue diamond is a code. Now, when I was reading it, it said Dontel, who started as a Mets, right? There's the ring. Remember, we're talking about marriage and all that shit. There's the ring. There's the portal. Okay, one ring to rule them all, right? With the St. Louis Cardinals. Now, the Cardinals is funny because it's a red bird, and the red bird to me just proves it's a phoenix. Okay, it's a phoenix, red bird in 2011. Remember, the Super Bowl happened on 2/11. And then, oh yes, and then this was somebody he was with, Tony Blanco, who played briefly for the Washington Nationals. Okay, DC. Okay, crushed in DR, was playing for DC. The coup caved in. Jets, renowned jet set. So are we gonna take off a jet set? Interesting. And weirdly enough, there's your 501, and there's Blanco, who's 45. Now, this is what I'm gonna just an instant, because I see on the news all the time that they keep talking about all these spike ups and all this other shit and spreading and fucking measles and mumps and this and that and all these cases and breakouts happening. Okay, what if they're trying to show, because Donald Trump is kind of from New York, and they're showing here New York strongly, right? And if you understand that Washington, right, they had to mention that, it didn't even matter, like, but they had to mention that he was with this particular person that played from Washington. Understand that this is important, okay? Washington is also used to be called New York back in the days, okay? It used to be called New York back in the days. So there's two scenarios I can think of. Either there's going to be a destruction, some type of destruction in Washington state, not D.C., but most likely Washington, or maybe D.C., who knows? Some type of destruction in D.C., because they're referencing over here Mets and Yankees right underneath each other. And funny enough, these are right underneath each other. You see how that it's like almost the same sentence right here? The two sixes line up over in New York, New York. So either, like I said, two things. It's either that, or either something drastic happens in Washington State on the East Coast somewhere, or, as I say, the breakouts and the sickness and all this other shit, doctor. Okay? DR also can be looked as doctor. Doctor what? And they're going to go to your atoms. So they're talking about your genes, okay? 666, the beast, okay? The genes, the atoms. Maybe means nothing. Maybe I'm stretching. Maybe. Remember I was telling you about the president, right? And funny enough, didn't Donald Trump get hit in his first term with a sickness, global sickness, right? And now they're kind of like setting the stage for another breakout sickness or whatnot. Look at the words that they use here. Dominican president, okay? President. They're using the word president here. As well as using the word president, like I say, you got, was this 4 and 5 or this was 7? You got 911, which is Donald Trump, okay? Because he was Mr. 45 first. He was 45, which makes 9. 4 plus 5 is 9. And then 47, right? 47 is 11. 47 is 11. 9, 11, okay? Anything else I can show you on here? As I'm telling you, Donald Trump, right? As I'm telling you, this is probably all connected, and Donald Trump is connected to the atom, and I'm showing you the 666s, the 1999 and 2006. There's a 666 symbol there. There's another 66 symbol there. I just showed you, right? I just showed you presidency. I just showed you the, right? 911. It's because Trump is collapsing the old system. This is what's happening. This is why the planes are crashing and all that other shit, because he is crashing the old system to build the new system. Now, I'm going to turn the next page, okay? I'm going to turn the next page. And who do we got? And who do we have? Okay, you see the twins? You see this line? You see the line, 11? Okay, you see the 9? Okay. Who can see it? Who can see the X? Who can see the X? Who can see the P? Who can see the R? And for my other, I don't want to leave him left out. Who can see the X? Who can see the R? Who can see the P? Remember I was telling you it's all about like the devil and Satan and Lucifer and blah, blah, blah. As you can see here, hell to pay for Beijing tariffs. Hell. I'm just trying to see if there's anything else. Now, we say Mayday. Where's this lady? Anyway, Street. There's a 333 code in here. Now you have the ID rules for real this time. Real time payments. Real time. Okay. Motorist Michelle Marie. There's your 33 MM. Okay. There's you got the 3 M's. Funny enough, I was telling you that last year, Thanksgiving, which was on 11/28, was the 333rd day. All right. Any numbers here? Oh, we got Halloween popping off. Oh, look at the 29th again. The 29th again. There's your God. There's your 222. Maybe this is a sign right here. Maybe the God date is 222. There's your 311. There's your 311 code in here. Okay. Halloween 311. All right, there's your 666 code over here too. Another 6, and then 1. That 1 could represent 1 more 6, which gives you 3 6s here. As well as 29 is also 3 6s as well too. I didn't even realize that. But you got your 9, flip it to be a 6, and then your 2s, 2 more 6s, you get your 666. All right. Who knows? Let's keep an eye out for May Day. Look at the 5-8. Look at the fucking 5-8 code. All right. Anything else we can look at? Albany, all right? That's the capital of New York. And then this, 05 law. That's what I was looking at right there. 05 law. 05. May. Mayday, Mayday. Let's see what happens. And then, funny enough, right on the opposite side of the page, we got rocket launcher, rocket launcher. Will Mayday be payday? Will Mayday be payday? We don't know. We don't know. We just gotta wait until the days flow. I'm just gonna keep showing you. I mean, whatever. We're just gonna have a little fun over here. Sleigh bird. There's the birds, right? Rocket launcher, right? Talk about bids. Funny enough, right? Fucking one of the biggest recorded market gains ever in history yesterday on 4-9, which is 13. Then you got the birds. Then you got the birds from California on a Tuesday. I didn't even read this. I'm just looking at it. And then another 29 code. What? Oh man, with the 555. With the 555. Bombshell. Ryan King. Remember I told you about the castle and it was called Orion's Castle, right? And we had a king on there. There was Orion's Castle. So yeah, it connects it to the bird. I mean, listen, a lot of people are going to be like, I have no idea what you're talking about. But for the people that got open minds and that can see and that can understand, thank you. You know what? I only got 15%, so I got to make this shit quick. And I'll just show you this one last picture, and then we'll see. See, it's always funny, right? They talk about the feds on furniture, right? Billion. Look how that fucking people made money yesterday on 9-4. Flip that 6, 9-4. People made money yesterday. People made $1 million yesterday. You do not understand. But remember we were talking about the 941? Look at this, right on the damn. All right, I tell you that. It's on the commercials. It's all on these phones. For some reason, 941. 941. Hold on. I want to show you something. Now, remember we have all these crashes, right? I'm going to show you something here. And then I'm going to end this video real quick. What does it say anyway? What's this advertising? Oh, real estate. Shit. Now, I just read something that prices are going to really, really go down. And the people that own houses are going to get fucking upset, maybe. But for the people that don't own any houses, hold on tight. Don't buy anything yet. Do not buy anything yet. Please listen to me. Do not buy anything yet. Wait for the crash. Okay? This has to be a symbol. Real estate on here. Why? Why 941? Now, this 941, right? We're talking about 29. All right? Now, if you lowered this down, right? The 6, and you lowered this 6 down, right? The 6 can also be a 9. Oh. I'm going to show you something here. So if we have, right? So we have the 9 like this, right? We also got, that's the same thing. But now you see it as a 2, okay? All you gotta do is just extend that. So that 9 that you see could be a 2, all right? And I only say that because Easter weekend, these are the dates, 1920, okay? Could this be like the recession time in 1920 when we had that depression, okay? I know it was 1929, but there's your mirror reflection. 1929 with a 0, but then also the crashes. Okay, there's your crashes. The 129 code. There's your 129 that weekend. Okay, there's your 29. All right, there's your 29 backwards. Plane crashing on the 29th. I mean, I don't know. I'm just playing with these numbers and I'm just trying to figure it out. Just pointing out everything I see, basically. I did mention 4th of July. 4th of July, I think for precious metals, 4th of July. And I'm going to show you. And you know the number 28 is connected to wealth, right? And 49. So 4th of July, because next year, 4th of July, will be the 250th anniversary for America, okay? This is the real estate. That was the same phone. As we scroll down here, any funny names over here? The Sun, Allison Ray, Mr. Earn. There's the L here. But look, 4th of July. That would be 4th of July right here. Look at 7-4. That's the 4th of July. 28. Okay, 28 is wealth number. 28 is the wealth number. So will we see a lot of wealth coming on 4th of July, Independence Day, freedom? Will we? Will we? Will we see a crash Easter weekend? Will we see precious metals rise? I'm not sure about this year, but maybe next year. Maybe next year. Maybe it has to do with Proton for one last thing, because as you can see, realtor.com, right? Number one site. Look at this. Look at the bar going all the way up. And it's a red bar, too. It's not even a green bar. So when we were talking about the crash that weekend, crashing Easter weekend, I mean, I don't know. Maybe this is a sign. I didn't even see that, but this is a red bar. This is a motherfucking red bar. Right? And who's number one? Proton. Who's number one? Proton. And with the sickness that came out, right, in 2020, you know what? Another thing I noticed? The sickness that came out in 2020, they were trying to say that they were spiking the protein, right? Well, protein and proton spike the proton. Price up. Spike the proton. There's another one I'll show you over here. I'm just gonna go through this little newspaper over here. Okay, it's too colorful. Look at her outfit over here. Okay, look at the outfit. Black and white. Okay, money, honey, money. New money freeze. You might be able to freeze your wallet. I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. Because they're definitely going to be connected. The webauth wallet definitely going to be connected to the government. So who knows what goes on? We're gonna see what goes on with the freeze. You know, there's a few people talking about a freeze. All right, well, check it out. Searching for missing horse. Okay, who's the horse? We talk about XPR being the horse or horse power, oil, right? Now look at that W. Look at the black and white W. Look at that anchor. Look at that black and white W right there. Right? Pop, right? We talk about popcorn. I'm just saying. Talk about popcorn. And who talks about pop? Marshall talks about pop, right? Proof of purchase. Okay. There's your popcorn. And there's the L. Okay. The God. But you don't see me though. But you can't hear me though. You don't see me though. You don't think I know so. You don't think I know so. Big Bang. BB. Boutique Bowery. Boutique Bowery. Okay? The Big Bang is going to bring us wealth. This is what I believe. This is what I see. The flash flop house, flip it, the makeover. That means you get better. Okay? The before, the old system. The before, the old system. We're going upgrading, baby. XPR all the way. XLM, XDC all the way. Upgrading after the fact, okay? After the fact. After the fact, we hit the 5525 is 55 Big Bang, baby. Big Bang 25 is 55. As you can see, I told you already that America is going to be 250 years old next year on July 4th. July 4th. There's your 13 again. Boutique, Bowery, Big Bang. Still affordable. Proton is still affordable. So, I don't got it. I'm going to say this. Anything else I can show you real quick? Because then I got to get out of here. right? Remember the halftime show, right? The Super Bowl. They were showing you the controller, PlayStation controller, telling you game over, this and that, blah blah blah, right? American Idol men back in labor force. Who knows? But the title is "Need Big Shock to Welfare System." Need a big shock. Okay. They said the game is over, right? And then they showed you the controller. All right. This is funny. I thought maybe you could find this funny. Trump excited wakes up and checks under his pillow to see if the tariff ferry has any new manufactured jobs. Look, I'm telling you, freedom's coming. Abraham Lincoln. There's Abraham Lincoln. Okay. Oh, this is what I want to show you. Look at this. The 333. We just mentioned the 333 code, right? We just mentioned the 333 code before. That was Thanksgiving. That was Thanksgiving, player. And then the last and not least, here it is. One little last thing. We just told you about the 501, right? I don't know, but maybe something big happens on maybe the 1st of May or something goes down on May. But look at the red tag again. Red tag. Just pay attention, right? The Apple sign. Red tag on a motherfucking Tuesday again. Okay? And why is this important? You know why this is important? This thing here? Why? And remember, he paused all tariffs except for. He paused all tariffs except for. Okay? Do you understand why this country is a big country? China? Do you understand? Well, there's your three. Okay, there's your Ripple, there's your oil sign, there's your XPR, XRP symbols right there. All right, but it's right here. Look it. It's the shy. Okay, it's the shy, the CHI. If you understand that that is proton, then you understand what the fuck I'm talking about. That's the Big Apple. Picking apples now. Another New York reference. Another New York reference. I think that's really about it. This phone is gonna. It's going down. Maybe something's about to happen. Scotty Key Bridge. Remember Scotty Key Bridge? Scotty by nature. I don't know if this has anything to do. I just seen this and I'm just showing you. Scotty by nature. I just finished showing you, right? The Scott Key Bridge. And that's the Masters also. Remember, they're talking about the Masters there. All right? Just trying to see if I see any other things over here. I'm telling you, Donald Trump is going to reset the debt here. Reset the debt. Drafting up plans, right? Look at that, 0. And that's part of the nets. Part of the nets to be zeroing in on fears. Okay? Lottery. And there's your 9 completion. There's your 9 completion. So I think that's really about it here. I think that is really about it here. Crashville, this and that. I mean, look at they're telling you everything's a Crashville. Everything's look at in the same paper. Islands, playoffs, hopes, but overtime loss to the Predators. Look at the Predators. Crashville. Is he gonna crash the people? And look at the score. 6 and 7 is 13. 6 and 7 is 13. Oh shit. Oh shit. Again, I'm just using my mind, being creative. What if this? Oh, I got only 5 seconds. All right. What if they're telling you that the Islanders, right? The natives, the Islanders, right? They're getting their land taken from them by the Predators. There's your 13. Crashville, stock market, not stock market, but real estate market. All right. Now it's time for the real estate market to get into correction. We had a nice correction in the stock market. Now we're going to have a correction in the real estate market. And that's about it. So that's it. That is there. Looking like let's see. Yep, I think it's a key out of the matrix. Anyway, guys, got to go. Peace out. Love you. and I'm out of here.